Hello everyone, ladies, gentlemen, and otaku alike. This is Recall Reviews. Attilio back here again, and I recall it with my friend from KrazyStarGazer.
Hey guys, glad to be on the channel.
Today we're going to be doing something different. Maybe one of these days we'll partake in a crossover review, but this is just something that we were talking about the other night when we were bullshitting and talking. Kind of like talking about art and stuff and characters, and one specific artist kind of came up, Rob Liefeld. And Rob Liefeld is known for many things in the comic book world. One thing, we're gonna get to some of the tropes about Rob Liefeld, but at his heart, he is one of the most accomplished comic book artists because he is a self-taught artist. And the reason why we want to talk about art is because the two of us like to draw and sketch in our free time.
Yeah, that's true, we do.
Both of us have vastly different styles, which I think would be fun to kind of incorporate and present one image from today's selection of images that we can kind of replicate in our own styles at the end of the video. You guys have already seen a couple of examples of my own work from my Yandere School Let's Play series, which will be continuing very soon. Let's first meet the man himself. Actually, let me run the screen capture on this, and I'll just edit that shit down. Actually, I don't even know why I got up. I had the mouse right there. All I had to do was click on some stuff. You guys can see how organized I am. I'm very organized. I'm very good. I'm very good at what I do. So let's take a look at the man himself, Rob Liefeld here. There we go. Surrounded by some of the characters that he's done and created. Obviously, he created Deadpool in I think 2004 for Marvel, definitely after part of his Image run. Which Deadpool's a wildly successful character, and I'm not 100% sure if he even has really been fairly compensated for creating such a profitable character for Marvel. But now let's get into the next image here for Rob Liefeld. Come on. Yeah. That's gonna be like that.
Yeah, let's just go through each one.
Something from I don't know what series this is, but I guess Kaboom from I did a search for Liefeld art, and this is a good example of some of the tropes about Rob Liefeld, where you have an action shot where you see the face, the boobs, and the ass all in one shot. Almost anatomically impossible because of the way her midsection would have to be contorted to do so. What's your takeaway on this?
Well, I gotta say, it's definitely a striking image, and definitely a very compelling image. Definitely makes you kind of tilt your head, though, going, "Jeez, does this lady have a spine?"
Yeah, let's see. Another Liefeld trope: ridiculously large weapons. You see the giant armored hand the young lady has.
Yes.
So,
one thing I do want to say.
Oh, sorry. Now it works.
One thing I do want to mention is kind of her expression here. I'm not really sure what the expression is. Just so definitely determined.
I believe today the young people would call it resting bitch face.
Yeah, not really sure. You would think maybe a little bit of anger, but just definitely determined at something.
Or at least maybe a little bit of angst. You know, at least give us some angst. But I guess she's just more focused on trying to show off as much of her assets as she can. That's another thing. The anatomy's a little odd. The arm seems like it's a little way too long.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if she was standing straight and not in this pose, I would assume that fist would almost come down to her knee.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, yeah, I know. So let's go into the next one here. Here's a cool action pose of Deadpool with a bunch of other Marvel heroes in the background.
Hey, I know this guy.
Another trope about Liefeld is none of his guns actually look like real guns.
Yeah, that does not look like any gun I've seen.
But you can see he is very detailed with musculature and such. That being said, yeah, it's just a solid, fairly anatomically correct drawing. Like this looks good. It's solid.
Yeah, I'd say. Again, much like my friend pointed out, I think the only glaring issue would probably be the foreshortening on the gun. It could be a little more pronounced, meaning the gun should look a little bigger in comparison to the rest of the body because it's supposed to be jotting out at us.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, and that's like part of one of the criticisms that Rob Liefeld gets, that like he's not a good artist, but genuinely I think that Rob Liefeld really is a great artist, especially being self-taught, never like professionally learned how to, just a kid who said I want to draw comic books and became a millionaire drawing comic books. He's very accomplished and a very talented, man. He's very talented.
For sure.
I like all of his work, whether it's good or bad work. So let's pop into the next image. We have another action shot for an image series.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get that name. It's Evangeline.
Okay.
I haven't heard of this series. It is Image, so look it up. Should be relatively easy to find, especially on such sites like Comixology. And what's your first takeaway looking at this?
Again, the posing's very interesting. I would say, again, a very dynamic pose. Again, the facial features aren't really, but the facial features kind of seems kind of stoic in a way. We see she's charging at something, so she should be angry or happy, bloodlusted.
There's definitely at least more emotion than that previous one.
For sure.
Yeah. But she also kind of looks a little like Rogue from...
definitely. Some Rogue.
Definitely got to be part of that white streak of hair there.
Yeah.
And again, we see a perspective thing with like these swords are supposed to be the same length, where this one is good in the sense that it's kind of coming out at us. It's lengthier. This one just feels like it's done to be a short sword almost. It doesn't seem like the sword is really all there.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, it seems like he learned the lesson from the previous picture, and he kind of got the first sword right, but then the back sword, maybe he kind of overlooked.
Now, having never seen or read this comic prior, I don't know if the intent was is there two fighting swords, which I know exists, where you have one long sword as your primary attacking tool and your short sword as a defensive weapon.
This is true.
I don't know if that's the intent here, but again, we can look at the classic Rob Liefeld trope. You see the face. This time you see both boobs and both cheeks.
Hey.
And again, what has to be a horribly contorted spine.
Yeah.
But again, looking at the actual details, it's good from the ripped stockings, from the shine on the boots. It does that when I'm ordering. From the shine on the boots. I don't think I've seen many outfits that'll ride this high on your hips, unless if this is just where this person's hip bone is, in which case, strange anatomy. But you also gotta look, the waist is very thin.
Yes, very thin.
Especially if you're looking at someone with watermelon crushing thighs like this, very, very small waist, very small, technical, torso size. But technically nothing overtly wrong or off-putting about this.
So far, the thing I'm tempted noticing is definitely a very strong first impression. Like if you're out shopping, this is definitely going to get your attention. But I think once you actually examine it, there tends to be a few minor issues that seem to nag at the back of your head that unless you really pay attention, you might not even notice.
And keep in mind, a good chunk of what we're looking at are what your first impression of the books are going to be. A lot of what I managed to find that best represents the Liefeld style is based in the covers that he's done for either other people's work or for his own work. And the cover's the first thing that you see. I do have sprinkled in here some actual pages and panels of stuff that he's done in his own work, but which is very, very fast. I think the most iconic thing that Rob Liefeld is known for, aside from creating Deadpool, is I believe his work on I forget if Wildcats was Jim Lee or Rob Liefeld, but I'll probably put an annotation in here to fix that. Next one here we get. Okay, this is another one that he's very known for. We have his series Blood Strike. Half of his series started with blood. That was Blood Wolf and Blood Strike and
Definitely.
Blood something and whatever 90s extreme we could get.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely getting a feeling, seeing the trend there.
So kind of almost looks like a proto Deadpool in the mask here, if I'm right. He definitely did this before he created Deadpool, but now we see some of the other tropes. Unrealistically massive muscles.
Yes.
Look at that arm.
It is huge.
This shoulder is twice the size of his head. Those biceps are the size of half of his chest, or actually this would probably be a little more than half his chest. We haven't gotten to any with pouches among pouches, but we have belts everywhere.
The belts begins.
You have the belt of grenades. You have the belt with scattered ammo. You have the belt on his bicep. You have the belt holding his pants up. You have the belts around his thighs for some reason. That's kind of where you see some of the other tropes and some of the other like specific little art things. A lot of cross hatching. You know, all in here. There's a lot of cross hatching. I don't really do much cross hatching in my own work, just because I've never been able to do it in a way how I'm happy with how it comes out when I do it.
Oh, if I could?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say, again, very striking image. And at first impression, definitely going to get a glance from me. Definitely might even pick up the book. But once you look at it, you start to notice some things. I think maybe my two kind of the two kind of things of note would kind of be the position of the fists. He's doing a little. I love the tension in the arms. You can feel he's really tensing. He's
all those veins.
All his veins. He's very angry right now.
Very vascular.
Very vascular.
Very strapping.
Very strapping. It's funny. I get more emotion with his characters with masks than his characters without so far.
Well, probably because you have to draw an emotion on a face, and it's easier to convey an emotion with intent. Clearly, his clothing's all torn up. He must have just been in a fight. I don't know what Bloodstrike is angry about, but he is angry, and he clearly wants to pummel somebody. So, based on his body language, the intent is anger.
Yes.
Plus, again, all the line work in the mask kind of showing more toward a scowl.
Yes,
on
definitely.
his face.
You can tell this man is very upset.
Just cross-hatching. Cross-hatching everywhere.
Oh, there's one more thing I want to point out?
Yeah, what's up?
I will say, again, his torso, his arms, his muscles, all very, you definitely notice, but then you see his legs.
Yeah, those are two tree trunks.
They're just coming at you, just whoa!
I would hate to see him try and sit down on a bus or a train with legs like that.
Like as muscular as this dude is, I think it's a kick from this guy you got to worry about.
Definitely. You know, I guess if you want to see what this is all about, pick up Bloodstrike #1 in his image. A lot of this should be on Comixology. To be honest, that's where I read a good amount of comics and stuff. Okay, now let's do the next one. Coven. I actually have several issues of Coven.
Okay.
Again, more Liefeld. Where with the other female characters, there was a ridiculous hip line and waist. There is no hips here at all in this one. She's literally a triangle. You have the shoulder here and just comes right down here.
Yeah, I think. Well, for her point, I will say the stoic expression is better here because she's not in movement. So currently she's at rest. Or she's just kind of gazing, she's passive. She's got her little bit of sparky thing, her little bit of sparkle fingers going on, but
magic is this is a magic based series. I have read the couple issues that I do have. And again that you know a ridiculously thin waist but huge chest, really broad shoulders, lot of detail with the necklines, the collarbone, which is actually something that I make fairly pronounced in a lot of the drawings that I do, because I draw very fit looking characters, very muscular for action scenes, this and that and so on. So this one actually might be a contender for one that I kind of choose to do in my own style.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely this one. The outfit very low cut here. If they didn't have to stick to some kind of guidelines, I'm sure you'd see some nipple, I guess. Jacket looks cool. Lots of detail, lots of cross action. Really heavy shadowing in it. But again, this waist, these hips.
Also, I love the outfit toward her top. She has the overcoat, she has the hat, loving it. And then I can't quite make out what her pants are.
They're like
shorts, jeans.
It looks like a biker short style leather or latex. They're apparently very tight.
Very tight.
Very tight. If you look at if you just look at how they're squeezed around her upper thighs, and all these detail lines, which are good detail, but very tight. I would hate to see if she had normal hips.
You know what I think the issue might be?
How that would fit.
I think the issue is she skipped leg day.
She skipped leg day, exactly. Squats, which actually kind of goes in here. She has very skinny thighs, which is the opposite of Evangeline that we saw, who had huge thighs.
Yes.
And again, technically, all technically speaking, the core is drawn well. She's clearly fit. She's clearly in shape. She's got the like classic looking coned thumbs, gloves. I mean to say. Any last little things about this?
No, just similar things that we've been talking about.
Well, let's hop over to the next one. Here's an actual page. I don't know what comic this is from, but let's start over here. Definitely more stylistic.
Okay.
I was trying to go through this one a little slower so we can kind of get a good look, because this is a full page scan here. Let's look at this panel here. First off, she has a broken fucking back.
Oof, yeah.
Cause here's the spine. Follow the mouse there.
Yeah.
Break, curves out, and here's the hip line. There's the butt.
Yeah. Almost.
There's the bust there, and here's the and this here is the waistline. That is a very thin stomach.
Yeah, I would say. I think she's supposed to be doing her little sachet thing, her little strut, and I almost bought it, but yeah, the anatomy there is definitely off. Her hair seems to be behind her coat currently, which is weird.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even realize that, but yes, her hair is behind her. Left shoulder, slightly over it. Unless if this curve is supposed to be her shoulder and her hair is just on her left side.
Yeah, that's also possible.
So let's hop down, take a look here. Face looks good.
Face looks good. One of the eyes, I think, might be a little off.
Right eye or left eye?
I was getting more this one. Yeah.
Right eye?
Yeah. The right eye seems to be maybe just a smidge off.
What I think it is the intent was maybe she's supposed to be slightly peering in back of her.
Yeah.
So really this eye should be slightly more, maybe angle this eye a little, like a millimeter to like what our left would be.
Yeah.
Maybe have this eye a little more toward the corner, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe bring it down so it's a slightly bit more centered. So it's like, those assholes, I got them right where I want them.
Yep.
Kind of a deal. Aside from that, very defined cheekbone.
Yep.
Very, very good shading, very good detail in the headdress. Even the background yuppies, they look good.
Yep. Nope. Aside from that.
Check the next box down. You see more of that outfit she's wearing.
Yep.
Everybody's checking her out instead of the fight. In fact, that might actually be Bloodstrike in there. I don't even know. Which also kind of looks into one of the other Rob Liefeld tropes, is he doesn't really draw feet. And when he does, they're usually very simple. But anything you can pick out about this?
I think this is probably the most fine of them all. Everything seems in order. I can't really pick out anything.
Even here, the waist and hips look a little more normal in size.
For sure.
You have this guy who's absolutely shredded, and this guy and this guy who's more shredded than him. But this is the same arm. Actually, if you really look, this is basically the same arm.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I look at it, you gotta bash the Stampede here.
Yeah, definitely. Just kind of in this image, the background characters kind of draw the attention.
And now we'll get into this last panel before we go to that full body of our protagonist here. Again, looking over the stage. What's your take on this one?
This one seems, again, pretty normal. I think the headlights and her kind of posing there makes a strong image. I can't really define anything quite off about it. Perhaps, again, some slight anatomy, but nothing too obvious, I feel.
Where with some of the previous images, the female's chest was really pressed together, so it looked bountiful and firm, and this one's allowed to hang a little more naturally, a little more looser. That feeds down to a very thin waist, which actually, this is a little bit better than the majority of what I've seen from Liefeld's female characters. But this comes right down into huge hips, total opposite of the character from the Coven cover who had no hips. So that swings into huge hips but very thin thighs.
Ooh, I do want to mention one more thing. You'll notice that the arm lengths are about the same if you were to draw a line right between them. Like fingertip to fingertip, they're the same. Again, foreshortening, my dude. She's sashaying, so one arm should be a little bigger than the other.
Yeah, because in clear here, her left arm is a little bit more back. It's definitely more back.
Definitely more back.
Well, this one is more front, like she's about to place her hand on the stone.
Perhaps it would have been better if she was. That may have...
it might have made it a little bit, better, but... now let's look at the main event of this page, the whole body image here of the female character.
Yes.
Here. So let's try and get as good a look as this as possible here. So let's zoom out a bit so you can kind of see the whole thing here. First impressions here.
First impressions. Full body pose definitely seems alright at first glance.
He's definitely got the perspective right. This arm's definitely swung back. This one's more forward.
Yup.
So, this one definitely doesn't line up exact because, as naturally would, this arm is back more from this one.
Yup. She even has a little bit of bounce to her. A little bit of bounce.
Though she although one hand is kind of facing like this and one is front, the forearm should still be about the same size. This arm looks very thin.
Yeah, a little.
Compared to the right here. Again, going up. She definitely has an attitude coming in, so bitch face works. She's definitely now. It might just be from the scan. It might be a little bit from the blur. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like she's almost got a little bit of like a half smirk on her face. Like I'm about to fuck some shit up. Yeah. Detail in the hair is really good. Flowing, wild, wavy. A lot of good coloring. There's some highlights in there. Headdress looks good. And again, a lot of detail here. I think that the neck might be a little thin.
Maybe a little thin.
Maybe have these curve out a little bit more around here.
Yeah.
Kinda. But that feeds in very well to her, traps. Her traps up here. She's clearly some kind of warrior. She's very fit. Again, very defined collarbones. Again, the kind of more naturalistic looking chest.
I do want to say something about, not to seem like I'm peeking, but something about the torso, the upper torso, seems a little, I don't know about the anatomy exactly. I think the rib cage might be a little
broken, non-existent.
Yeah, something seems a little off. Also, the breasts seem to be also a little off somehow. I can't quite place it though.
Well, in the sense versus other artistic depictions of breasts that I've seen from various other artists, these ones have a more natural sag to them. Little more down slope curve, but definitely when you're looking at the ribs, everything looks fine until she suddenly has no ribs.
Yeah.
And this seems like an odd little shading choice here.
It feels like an indent. I think.
Yeah,
kind of like
it just looks a little odd and off-putting again with a very unrealistically thin waist. But again, curving right into her swinging her hips while she's walking.
Yep.
To these huge hips that feed into larger thighs than in that bottom image.
Yep.
Definitely larger than like you look at this image and you wouldn't expect this from your side, and you wouldn't expect this in a side view.
Yeah, definitely not what I was picturing.
But overall aesthetic and design, it looks cool. You got the leather jacket, the gold gauntlet, the leather glove, I guess the garter belt straps connected to the leather underwear. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but the leather leg wraps, knee pads, the fur connectors, and very simple, feet. Which again feeds into the Liefeld trope. Alright. Any final thoughts on this page?
No, I think we talked about it enough.
Alright, well, let's pop into the next image.
Is that it?
Oh. Yeah.
Alright, yep, that was it.
Here is a shot from one of his team books. I think Wildcat. I'm not sure.
Okay.
No, it's definitely not Wildcats. I probably should have researched his series more. Give me a second. Youngblood, not Wildcats.
Oh,
okay. Again, something else with blood in the title.
Yeah.
Here's a cool little action image of his young blood characters. Yet another series that he created with blood in the title. So where do you want to start here?
This image, for some reason, there's a lot going on, and yet not as much as you would think.
Well, he's got the tire coming out of the quarters. He's got that's an image trope, as in its own kind of. Todd McFarlane really did that a lot. Even in Marvel, when he was doing Spider-Man. In fact, they would get mad at him for doing that. It's like, oh, you have to keep everybody inside of the panels. And he's like, well, why? Why would I just want to do that? It's supposed to be a comic book. Anything's supposed to happen.
Yes.
So, let's see. Let's start with the big Crumb guy here, who's totally not Colossus, which again goes into another Rob Liefeld trope: gigantic freaking shoulder pads.
Yeah, they're very pronounced.
With just egregious looking cross-hatching.
I think that the fact that it's reflective too, like that it's a reflective material, just kind of takes your eye away from like everything else.
Well, the rest of him looks a lot more chrome and reflective than the shoulder pads. It's really just this rim around here and the sparkle here.
Yeah. Like, that sparkle definitely, it's nice, but it kind of takes away some of your eye away from some of the other characters.
But yeah, a huge hulking behemoth with I don't think your chest has this many muscles that it makes these kind of lumps.
Yeah, it seems a little haphazard.
Again, you can kind of see that thigh. It's about the size of the young woman here.
Just the one there.
Let's look at his not quite Hawkeye over here. Absolutely shredded, beefed up in the individual. You got the belts everywhere: bicep belt, chest belt, pants belt, thigh belts. Although I think these are meant to be pouches, thigh pouches. So we're finally getting into the '90s aesthetic of pouches on the comic.
Pouches.
Years ago, I drew this one thing, and as a joke, I put an outrageous amount of belts on the male character for no real reason. He'll often draw characters without pupils.
Yeah, it definitely seems almost, I don't know. It's a striking image, but it kind of takes away some of his humanity.
Now, something that I don't know if I have other examples of this character specific, he'll frequently leave out details of other characters. Like, he's supposed to have a ponytail. In some images, he does. In some images, he doesn't. In some, it's longer. In some, it's shorter. Let's look at Chapel over here, who some of you may recognize from his cameos in Spawn. He's the guy who murdered Al Simmons, which started the chain of events that made Al Simmons become Spawn. Your forearm is not supposed to be the same size as your bicep.
Yeah.
So some questionable anatomy here with the musculature.
Yep.
Got a very scowly face. Again, no pupils here.
Yeah. The face paint kind of takes away from, again, it's kind of the expression. The face paint kind of makes you think he has an expression. Well, but then when you actually look at it, you can't quite make it out.
It's supposed to be a skull.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Face paint. But skulls always look better on chests than faces.
Yeah.
Again, you see kind of a weird perspective with the handlebars for his motorcycle here.
Oh, I think he's holding the handlebar, or he's holding the gun under the handlebar.
He's holding the gun under the handlebar, which is why this bike is wildly careening off of the panel.
That's a rookie move. You want to hold your gun on the handlebar as a prop,
But look at how he's sitting. His spine is contorted all the way forward because his leg is a perfect 90 degrees.
Oh no!
Look at that foot. That is a tiny, tiny little foot.
Yep. Now that you point that out, just sitting on a tiny little seat.
You know, he is hunched all the way up here,
Yeah.
but his leg's perfectly off.
Yeah.
And again, there's the unrealistic looking guns here.
Mm-hmm.
His guns don't really look like real guns, and some of them, like these on his back, which I think I may have images demonstrating what some of his guns look like, just look like giant pipes.
Yeah, I feel like, again, it seems like Liefeld seems to draw what he thinks looks good in one instance, but doesn't think about it practically.
No.
Like, where is the trigger? Where does the launch come from? How does it work?
Like, and if you look at the bars that's intent is supposed to be holding the wheel of the bike are coming out behind the wheel.
Yeah.
This isn't actually connected to the tire at all.
No.
This isn't connected to the rims or the wheel at all.
Yeah.
We got the background characters again drawn in a way how you can't see their feet.
Yes.
But this is an absolute Goliath of a man, and the way that this is drawn looks like he doesn't have biceps, or looks like his hands start at his biceps, just in like this kind of a deal. Where this guy in the back here, which I think is supposed to be like a representation of him moving forward, like a shadow image.
Maybe.
You can see more of the perspective of his arm is back and maybe bent. This just looks like a very short jacket on a very short-armed man.
Yes.
And now let's take a look at the purple-clad female character. And again, I don't really know any of the names of the Youngblood characters because I've never gotten into Youngblood.
I feel like this feels like a Wolverine pose to me.
It really does. And again, that's something that I'll credit Rob Liefeld with this because he does what a lot of comic book artists I feel are almost afraid to in drawing a very fit looking female character.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with characters like Wonder Woman, very rarely do I find a depiction of Wonder Woman where she's like muscular, like an Amazon warrior should be.
Yes.
Or is classically depicted as. I have to try and be politically correct. We don't want to get canceled for saying, "Hey, an Amazon warrior should be ripped." Yeah. So you see in her biceps here, the forearm there, some decent musculature. The anatomy feels pretty solid.
Oh no, you know what I see?
Except in the hand, she's clenching her fist, holding her thumb. That's a sure way to break your thumb if you punch someone.
You know what I see?
What?
The bow is in front of her hand.
Oh, I see.
That's
So yeah, she's supposed to be at the front of the pack here.
She's supposed to be in front of the pack.
Yeah, and that bow is going to prevent her from making. I mean, it may work out for her because she won't break her thumb.
Nope. But now she's gonna knock this guy off his game. He's gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing? I had a clean shot."
Well, again, we have the no pupils, although it's kind of hard to tell the very squinty image here.
Yeah.
The face paint aesthetic looks good. It works. If I remember right, I think the Youngblood team are meant to be heroes for hire.
Mm-hmm.
Where Hayes like, "Hey, we'll save the day, but you gotta pay us to do it."
Yeah.
Kind of a deal. Again, the big sleeve on this one. Again, pretty good musculature. At least she's not holding her thumb in this one. It doesn't even look like she has a thumb in this one. like it looks like it gets up to here and then the thumb is gone.
Yeah.
How are you gonna hold anything? And again, we kind of have that image. We have the face, we have the chest, and part of her ass. If we didn't have the shoulder pad here, which again, big shoulder pads.
Big shoulder pads.
We would have face, boobs, and ass all in the same shot. And again, did this image in a way to hide her left foot almost entirely. And this one is just a couple very simple lines going around with some appropriately muscular thighs.
Mm-hmm.
But based on this image, it almost doesn't look like she has a torso. It looks like there is no stomach.
Yeah.
This guy has short arms. This guy's just boobs and this girl's just boobs and ass. This guy's all shoulders and chest. He's gonna die in a horrific motorcycle accident, and he's probably gonna fare the best out of him.
Yeah. If I could just kind of summarize this image in one, if I could try and summarize this image, it feels like each character is kind of doing their own thing, and if each was taken individually, like if each had its own like if each character, the bicycle dude, lady, each one had their own picture, it would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all doing their own thing, so it just feels completely chaotic and out of sync.
Which is funny because most of what Rob Liefeld did for Image were these team books where it was about a team that worked together with 5 or 6 characters.
For sure.
So let's any final thoughts on this one?
No, let's keep going.
Let's pop into the next one. Okay, here's our first of the Marvel stuff he's done. Here's one of the most recognizable images of Captain America he's ever drawn. So we have an image that totally hides one of his feet. Has this one very far background, so it can be very simplistic. His forearm is the same size as his bicep, which is the same size as his shoulder, which is bigger than his head, or about the same size as his head, which is smaller than his chest. Look at all the veins going around the neck and traps and upper chest above the collarbone. That almost emaciated, sunken-in face.
Yeah.
Those ultra-defined bones on Nick Fury's face here. The eye patch just looks like a black hole. There's no texture. With someone who's textured every bit of clothing that we've seen so far, there is no texture on that eye patch, so it looks like someone just cut a hole in the image.
As you say, I can see it. Can we talk about the face, please?
The Captain America face?
No, I'm talking about that lady face.
Oh, this mask or whatever?
Yeah. Is that a mask? Was that the idea?
I don't know, but apparently we have a very devilish-looking Red Skull here.
Cool.
Apparently, maybe this issue took place in some kind of mannequin factory because you got this face and this disembodied hand here, and you got Red Skull laughing in the background, who actually, an actor who's kind of identified with Red Skull now is,
Hugo Weaving?
Well, yes, in the live action movie, but only played him the one time. There was, well, I am drawing a blank on the voice actor's name. I hate when that happens. He's one of my favorite voice actors. He voiced Archer in the Fate Stay Night original anime.
Yeah, sorry, you know more about voice actors than me, man.
figure it out in just a second. Liam O'Brien.
Oh.
An actor who's very associated with Red Skull, voicing him is Liam O'Brien.
Right.
Who has also voiced Nightcrawler a couple of times.
Oh, alright. So, I do want to point out one more thing.
Those giant thighs.
You see toward his shield? Yeah, there's a lot going on with his shield. Number one, it feels like it's just kind of flopped over. It does not look firm at all.
Especially since there's no possible indication of any straps in there.
Yeah.
Now, shouldn't the shield go over his knuckles, like cover his knuckles?
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't, like his shield would go from here to here. It would cover a good surface area. It just kind of looks like somebody just and bent it and kind of slightly bent it. Said maybe that'll hold. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, you see his hand right there.
Yeah, that just looks. I don't like his hand looks like it's.
Yeah,
jetted out like that. Like his like wrist is broken.
Yeah.
He's got all those veins on the bicep, and like look at that front. His hand is open. That means that there's no tension causing the veins to protrude.
Yeah.
So he's just a very veiny Captain America.
Just very veiny.
And again, those must be some really tight, skinny jeans because it's all tight here, just all tension at his crotch, and he's so masculine. He's ripping his way out of his jeans everywhere he flexes.
Yes.
You know, he's already popped out of his shirt. I'm pretty sure that was a whole long sleeve shirt at one point.
At one point, not anymore.
This is just an all-time classic Rob Liefeld Captain America cover.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Captain America image coming up soon that Rob Liefeld is really kind of infamous for drawing. Any last thoughts on this one?
I will say that his Red Skull is very well drawn.
Yeah, he is. It looks menacing and scary and dark. Got the teeth. He's got that. He's got the glowing orange eyes. It looks like a very good red skull.
Yep.
Wow. Let's hop into the next image. Okay, here we go, and another series for I guess the imprint has to be awesome since this is the third one I'm seeing with that. Ray or Regex.
Oh, okay.
I actually found so this is the series from earlier with that warrior woman with the.
Okay. She's changed it a little. Changed a smidge, maybe.
I'm guessing since this is number one, this is before she gets trapped in Yuppie Land where she has to wear a leather jacket or something.
Maybe I don't know. Her hair seems a little more. Her hair seems a little more flowy. The style seems a little more soft. She seems a little softer.
Again, we have this broken spine here. Just like
curves
break, go right around there.
Yeah.
Again, it's a very thin. Just following this line down, it is a very thin stomach, very thin area.
Mm-hmm. I think the glove might be bigger.
The glove is definitely bigger.
Yeah.
This band. Granted, she was wearing the jacket. I don't know if the band was on. If she had one on her bicep, but the band was around her forearm in the other drawings of her. She doesn't have the leather leg wraps or those knee pads. She has these tooth boots. That's the best I can go.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
These are teeth.
Yeah, they look like teeth.
These are giant teeth with heels.
They're unique. I'll give them that.
with more natural looking thighs.
Mm-hmm.
The hip kind of feeds down and into it fine. Again, with these boots, don't know what the calves look like, but I'm sure these were easier to draw than regular feet.
Yeah.
Again, and a surprisingly a reasonable sized chest.
Yeah. Very reasonable.
They're really technically with this character in this image, nothing too wrong. She's clearly very tall.
Yes.
She's very tall. Her head proportion seems a little small to the rest of her body.
Yeah, I'd say that maybe her legs seem a bit long.
Well, that's also...
But that could be because of the boot.
No, that's another trope of Liefeld. Really long legs on his female character.
Yeah, we love the legs.
We have one coming up soon that you're going to get a kick out of.
Oh, foreshadowing. Great.
So, and now let's go into the other character here who, as a whole, seems a whole lot more natural looking.
Yeah.
Normal chest. She's clearly kind of arcing herself forward a little bit. Her spine doesn't look broken. It's still a shot of face, boobs, and ass all in the same shot. In fact, we got double cheek here. But proper musculature. Even hand around there looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Holding two weapons. The boots with the feet. Granted, this here. So is she putting all her weight on her left leg?
I think she is,
and holding her right one up.
Yeah,
because her toes aren't even touching the floor here.
Yeah, I think the idea is that she's supposed to kind of be chilling, or at least she's supposed to be kneeling down.
But if you're gonna kneel. Don't, kneel before Zod. It just looks like she's just kind of balancing up here. This leg's just I just don't want it to touch this. It's that one little thing that kind of puts me off, kind of from the rest of the image.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you kind of have that same thing with. I think this might even be a character that we've seen prior. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the character from Evangeline, just without the white streak in her hair. Maybe this is a prequel. I don't really know. She's still got the "Are you really still looking at me?" face.
Yeah. Like the accent. I was definitely getting that accent too.
Though technically speaking, everything is pretty fine in this one.
Yeah, I think the strong costuming definitely helps to keep the piece together, and helps to kind of detract from some of the slight anatomical issues.
Speaking of which, belt.
The belt. We got a couple of belts.
And G-string. Leather G-string.
Yeah.
So anything else from the Regex or unless that's supposed to be like a stylized way to say rejects. Because it's extreme.
Now that I think about it, I think that maybe Our Lady with the horns holding the sword might be a little...
Too far?
No, just an interesting pose to hold the sword toward you. Now, if I was fighting her, all I would need to do is kind of push the sword toward her.
Well, she's got these giant bone shoulder pads that the sword's probably resting on.
For sure.
But based on this image, it looks like it's resting between her boobs.
Yeah. I would if I was a warrior, and I'm not, I would probably have the sword on my shoulder.
That's some pretty questionable art there, Rob.
Yeah, Rob.
Ready to pop into the next one?
Yep.
Here's what I was talking about.
Oh no!
This is Enchantress from Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Those legs, though.
They go on for Dang.
Her leg is the size of her stomach up and more.
She is more leg.
She is more leg now than woman. Alright, so let's get ourselves all the way up here and break it down from the start.
We got a text bubble, and let's look at
because this is taken from a panel of, I believe, a Thor comic.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is supposed to be an Enchantress. So let's look up in the face.
I do.
The hair looks a little odd around here.
Yeah, kind of fraying there.
But technically speaking, the hair is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Neck seems like a reasonable, thickness.
Mm-hmm.
Though it seems a little far right, like on her trap, because then this is her trap down to her to the left shoulder and left side. So maybe if her head was moved a little more centered.
Yeah, now that you point it out.
It was so if it was about here, maybe.
Yeah, now that you point that out, I didn't even notice that. Good eye.
So
maybe
reasonable sized bust.
I would say speaking of the bust, I would say the costuming, I kind of wonder, well, what's holding it up? Is it just really form-fitting?
Norse magic.
There should be some sort of strap or...
Magic.
We'll go with magic.
Magic. And then, oh my god, what the fuck happened to her spine?
Yeah. Ooh.
And again, like a 6'6" waist.
Yeah.
There's just because like this is the belt.
Oh.
It goes all the way around her stomach and spine. This looks like it'll just about be too big for her neck. So, oh my god, what happened to your spine? Because okay, and then she got sucked into a wormhole. Like this belt is her wormhole, and the rest is just kind of starting to come out.
Yeah.
But it clearly got stretched out.
Yeah. Just
we're still going. And very simple feet.
Yeah. Oh no, the simple feet
with the giant fur things.
Mm-hmm.
Without an actual clear break here, but that might just be a scan issue.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But yeah, let's just see if we can just kind of.
That's a lot of leg.
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
So there's
that's a lot.
Really, that's the most egregious thing about this is the waist down to the legs. Like again from the right arm from here where this mouse line is, from like here up, looks good.
Yep, looks perfectly fine.
And just maybe put the head and neck a little more left. Center it a little bit more. Aside from that. This all looks really fine, and then it's just a world of what?
Yeah.
Going all the way down.
Yeah, just
all the way down.
Yeah.
So, anything else you can think of for this?
I gotta say, this one was fun. It was definitely... This one was interesting.
Let's pop into the next.
Hmm.
Okay. So, there is no name on this one.
Spooky.
We clearly got some warrior women. Clearly got more enchantress spine here because here's broken spine, double cheek, very unhealthy thin waist, thighs bigger than her stomach.
Yep.
Double breast. Super resting bitch face.
Yep. Not
colors that are just honestly blending in too much to really catch an easy break between them, like the hair blends too much in with the background and so on this character who must not be the same kind of warrior this woman is, because she is a giant.
Yeah.
In fact, her butt down to her thigh is about as thick as this girl's body.
Yes, I think the taller one has just been eating really well.
I think she might just be an Amazon warrior, being depicted as an Amazon warrior should a giant of a person who dwarfs a normal average person. But again, her thigh is as thick as this.
Yeah.
Now focusing on her, hair looks good, the helm looks good, face looks like she's confident and ready to, mess somebody up. Shading and shadowing is good. Again, maybe move the head of the neck a little bit more over.
Yeah, maybe a smidge.
But this looks good. Like, she is very well rendered, very well drawn. I'm assuming she's some kind of Amazon warrior based on the clothing, the sword, the shield, the arm wraps and the metal bands, the skirt, belt.
You know what I think this image is, though?
What?
I think the colors are what's both intriguing me and confusing me.
Yeah, I feel like the colors should at least be a hue brighter, so it doesn't blend with the rest of the muted imagery as much as it is. But again, technically, it's again, like typical for Liefeld's characters, a large chest, but appropriate fitting with the rest of her build. Her bicep is covering up too much of her spine and back to really tell how broken it is. But I can assume that maybe it kind of feeds down like this based on where the skirt comes in. So the spine could be about here.
Yes, still
broken, but better than her.
Yeah. So I would say that our main lady with the blue hair, who seems bigger, I think she was obviously the main event, and it seems like the second lady was kind of an afterthought.
It really feels like Rob was like, okay, I'm going to draw this awesome Amazon, and I'm going to make this brand new series, and I'm going to have her be the center focus, and she's going to be like my more hardcore version of Wonder Woman. And he drew this really technically good woman, and then one of his friends is like, hey, you got a lot of open space there. Maybe you should fill it in with somebody. And he slapped this other one on top.
Yup.
Because this character feels very rushed in comparison to what the main focus of this is. Which, granted, now the main focus is this fucked up spine and torso.
Yeah, now
because this just broke in, feeds in here, and then this just curves all the way in. Just doesn't look comfortable. I don't know how his women sleep.
Yeah, and for this second lady, as you kind of notice toward her bottom half, it seems like, how would I put it? Like, this one seems even more distorted in a way when you start to focus on kind of like the butt. Like, I don't know how to exactly put it into words, but because it's so twisted, it just feels like really off. I don't know if I'm putting it. I don't think I have the words.
It's again doing that pose where you see her face, her breasts, and her butt all in the same shot.
Yeah.
While trying to give it a side view. It's very unnatural feeling. By the way, I didn't even notice until now, this is a belt. This is a pouched belt.
That looks like that covers her whole stomach.
Yeah.
So,
oof. I I don't know what you were smoking, Rob, but I think we're ready for the next one. So here it is.
Here we go.
The coup de grace.
The
Captain America, which wasn't it was never intended as a comic book panel. It was never intended as a cover. It was just something that he drew because he felt like drawing Captain America one day.
Okay.
So this was never meant to be put out or sold anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, this whole image could be fixed if you move his head right here. This whole thing could be relatively fixed if you just move his head forward.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because then it's a more normal looking chest. You got a more natural curve in the spine. I don't know where to begin aside from that. Let's start up at the face.
Static expression. We kind of have some a little bit of pupils going on.
A little bit.
A little bit. You can't quite make out the other one, but that's fine. He has the big square jaw of a hero. His neck is
He's still got that sunken in, emaciated face.
Yeah.
Shoulders bigger than his head, his chest. Like with this, he included both pectoral muscles, so he can kind of have the star. Really, it should be like a half star.
Yeah.
You really only see half of the star in one big pectoral muscle.
Yeah, that's really trying to have your cake and eat it too there, Rob.
Just a really flat that goes right down into his thigh, just flat stomach, just undescribable musculature. Like, these don't even look like abs.
Oh,
They just look like tumorous lumps.
I feel like, you know what I think could have made this? You see his arm? It feels like his arm is kind of more straight, like facing straight ahead, but his chest is kind of meant to turn that way.
Well, I guess,
So I feel like he needed to commit. Either you have him fully straight or
if you
fully
look at
tilted.
the back here, it looks like this is his other arm kind of poking out of it.
Nah, I think that's just
supposed to be a part of his fucked up back.
That's just his arm.
I feel like the shield should be lower.
Yeah.
Because again, his whole hand would be exposed.
And you got to think about it. The shield is supposed to shield his whole body. The shield should be much bigger.
If you're gonna draw a Captain America that looks like the Hulk, he should have a shield like equal size.
Yes. This would be like having a tuna can. This would not protect him at all.
So, I think when it comes down to it now, because that's the end of the line. I saved the best here for last. What's the image that you're gonna pick to do in your own style?
I definitely gotta.
Let's start back at the start, and we'll go and pick. I mean, like I want to draw, Rob himself.
Oh, okay.
You want to draw, the awesome Kaboom Lady, or Deadpool, or I think this is that same character, just with the white streak from that Reagex, Reagex, whatever the show is.
Maybe.
You want to draw Blood Strike, Coven. I'm thinking I might lean with Coven, or maybe Reagex Scrub, because I like doing the fur textures. I like to do some things. So I'm going to pick this specific image from this page. So this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
You're free to do the same thing if you'd like, but
it'll be a surprise.
So you're gonna try to do the group, pick one. You want to do Captain America? You want to do Enchantress? Or,
all right.
So yeah, I'm picking Rejects Girl.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'll let you know what I pick. I just need time to think it over.
Well, let's get into checking out those drawings, see how they came out, and hopefully we do this again really soon.
See ya.
See ya.